Torpor, welcome in, and congratulations on being officially the fastest thing alive, claiming first in the chat for this stream. I hope you're doing well today, and happy New Year's Eve. We will get started momentarily. I'm just... Oh, good time for a yawn. Excuse me. Just settling myself in for the evening, as it were. Okay. Let's do this thing, because frankly... I've got that playing and I could hear the starting soon music, and it was that they were not in rhythm with each other. It was deeply unpleasant. Which is a shame because they're both lovely bits of music. Well, this is a really good bit of music. Calling it lovely feels incorrect. But it is a well put together piece of music. While I've been setting stuff up, I've just had this in the background, and it's given me an opportunity to really appreciate how much work the dithering is doing in some of the bits of the menu screen. It's a really good bit of art. Really, really good bit of art. Their artists know exactly what they're doing. They are very talented. Hello, Porthos! We have a dog in the chair. In a very dark room. Hey, buddy. I've been watching someone play a video game. So far ahead of where I am that I may just restart my play of the game, pressing how far ahead they are, given that they played about 1/3 fewer game days than I have. Oof. Torpor, thank you for contributing towards the Sierra Point and Click No Peeking challenge. We are now over 80% of the way there with 16 days left on the clock. So that's pretty impressive. And as much as I am petting him, I will give him a treat from you. Thank you. As you may have noticed, I am solo again this evening. It is one of the rare occasions when all of mine and DMAC's friends are actually available so that we can potentially spend some time with them. So I said to D, don't worry about Silent Hill tonight. Have some more time with the guys, and I'll join you after the stream if I can. So we're doing some Bahnsen nights again today. And not being a car person, I have learned why it's called Bahnsen Nights. $32K. Ouch. $32K? Is that how far in we are? To the, how much we've got left to get the thing? Yes. I think you can smash it out of the park. As long as people contribute, you've got 16 days, and it will get bumped up if I miss any streams during that time. Hey, Primbles, welcome in. I hope you're doing well today. 32K is what I have contributed. Fucking hell. Nicely done, Torpor. Primeby, thank you for contributing towards the Sierra Point and Click No Peeking challenge. Oh shit, yeah, it does say what your total is, doesn't it? See, I don't notice the total. I just notice what's been that someone has made a contribution. I really do appreciate that the captions cut out my stuttering, which the previous ones didn't. Oh, I've got my little spaceman on, which is why you might be able to see some little green pinpricks on me on the camera. I went for the red nebula today, felt appropriate considering the colours that we've got in the game. Yeah, I hope you're doing well, Primbles. So, I was just saying, not being a car person, I didn't know the significance of the game's title. Your mouse is having a very gender day today. In a good way, I hope. And if so, yay! Ah, Bahnsen Knights, excellent. Just pondering what colours were used in this. Prototype Critter will appreciate the reminder. Hey Sol, welcome, and I hope you're doing well today, in a good way. That's great news, Primbles. I'm glad to hear that. Hello Soup, welcome in, I hope you're doing well. We are indeed very close to complete. Oh, Slow has ordered takeout. He has ordered KFC. And Porthos, knowing that the KFC has just arrived, has jumped out of the chair and made his way swiftly over to Slow's office. He's not getting any chicken. It's not going to fucking happen. Hello, Rocket. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Yes, happy Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve Eve? No, New Year's Eve Eve, everybody. He knows what he's about. He does. He likes his food. No, Slow did not order enough for the whole class. It's fucking expensive getting KFC for one, let alone an entire group of us. Porthos priorities, indeed. So, some of you will already know this, but I didn't until I looked it up. I was wondering why the game was called Bahnsen Knights when we're driving around in Ford cars, exercising the roads. Uwe Bahnsen, I think that's how you pronounce his name, I don't know, was a famous car designer for Ford. That's why it's called Bahnsen Knights. It's a nod to Ford as a company and to the designer of the model of car that they drive around in. And I think that's delightful. I'm just sad that I had to Google it because I don't know enough about cars to have got that. Soup, thank you for the treat for Porthos. I'll pop that to one side for when he's done trying to acquire chicken from Slow. And the treat for me will be... It is a bubblegum bottle. Thank you. Scored one of the Armoured Core model kits. Not an insane price too. Overdue Christmas present. Wicked. Love to hear it, Rocket. Did you know Stormtroopers are very weak to direct impact proton torpedoes? I have been field testing this theory. That sounds like a lot of fun. Okay. I think we're good to continue now. That is not a great freeze frame, got to admit. Looks like he's got a little bit of the He-Man what's going on meme face going on there. Nice, Rocket. Okay, so we've got 2 out of 24 achievements for this last weekend. So this may be the longest of the Pixel Pulps. It's been reviewed as the best of the Pixel Pulps by Edge magazine recently, which is pretty neat. So, just to catch everybody up in case you weren't here last time. Welcome on in, Rust. Good timing. I hope you're doing well today. Previously on Bahnsen Knights. We are an undercover government agent of some description. We're not a cop, we're some sort of other government agent. I'm thinking kind of an MIB situation, considering the way the other Pixel Pulps played out. We have infiltrated a cult. A cult who exercise tornadoes.
Hello there.
That are portals to hell that appear on roads. And we do this in our cars. We have been in our first ever exorcism, and we got to lead it, 'cause we're cool. That's about the sum of what happened last time. It took us a while to get through things. There was a lot of talking and sort of character development going on. And I kept getting distracted and going on tangents and chatting with you folks instead of progressing the game or talking about how pretty it is. So we didn't get very far. There was no pea soup involved in the exorcism. There is only one soup on this channel, and it's you soup. That sounded really weird. You know when you say a word too often and it starts to lose meaning? Hello, Geist. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well today. Snufkin Melody of Moomin Valley on Steam. It's on my wish list, Geist. I really want it.
Fucking thief.
Did he actually get some? Did he manage it, Slow?
What?
Did he steal some of your chicken?
Fucking trying.
Good lad. That's great. Porthos. Whoa, shit. That is a rocket-propelled doggo right there. He said, please. Good boy. There you go. Sorry, he wasn't really on camera for that, but he is. He's got chicken zoomies. Naughty boy Chimkin Stealer, indeed. Played the demo today, very good game, fuck the cops. Cool, I will definitely have to have a look then. Because it is on my wish list. Because I, believe it or not, I am actually a big fan of the Moomins. Weird little troll people and their weird little friends. Just being all wholesome and cute. Nah, couldn't be my kind of game. Couldn't be my kind of franchise. Definitely not. No, I love the Moomins, they're great. I really liked the remake series, or the reboot series they did a little while ago, that had Richard Ayoade in it as a ghost, and it had, oh god, what's his name? Matt Berry as Moomin Popper, because Matt Berry makes such a fucking good Moomin Popper. I honestly can't think of anything but Bahnsen when I hear the name of this cult. Ah, Soul, you came in just a little too late to hear me explaining why they're called what they're called. They're named after the man who designed the model of car that they're driving, which is just the nerdiest fucking thing ever, and I love it. It's actually a word that describes that, but I can't remember what it is. Oh, the saying a word so much that it loses meaning. Yeah, I can't remember what it is either. Matt Berry is just awesome regardless of what he is. He's great. He's wonderful. Matt Berry as Moomin Popper. Yep, it's so fucking good. If you can find it, watch it. It's one of the Ford vehicles, and I can't remember which model exactly it is. Prime V. But I remember it's a Ford. I'm sure they'll mention it again at some point. They like to drop the name of the vehicle every few sentences anyway, so... Sure, I'll figure it out when I see it. Okay, well, I'm sure you will as well. You're very... excuse me, very good at this stuff. Let's find out, shall we? Your waist hurts. You feel a burning in your esophagus. Oh, no. We ate too much KFC, didn't we? I have not seen that guy, so I'll have to look it up. I will check it out. If it's a famous Ford, probably a Mustang. It's not a Mustang. It's a thing I recognise as being a Ford vehicle, because I know the name. So it's famous enough that a Luddite like me gets it, but oh, wicked, thank you, Geist. But yeah, it's not like it's not a super famous Ford vehicle, but it is something that your average person can fairly easily recognise as being a Ford vehicle. And the onset of cramp in your left leg. Oh dear. We're not having a stroke, are we? I mean, that's normally arm and face rather than leg, but... Famous enough for normies to recognise it. Ford Escort? No, I don't think it's a Ford Escort either. It's also not a Ford Prefect before we get any of the Hitchhikers fans in chat getting excited. Cranvic? Okay, I've never heard of that one. You try to remember happier times. Time is when you awoke differently. Oh shit, that's just how he wakes up in the morning? Fuck! That's unpleasant. Ah, I see, Prime B. No, I don't think it's that. Ever used to rise before you? The first thing that would greet you was the aroma of coffee wafting in from the kitchen. Valsion, hello, welcome in. I hope you're doing well today. And exceptional choices on that list of upcoming movies for things to go see. Just want to make sure, because you usually comment on it, but did you see my previous post? Oh shit, no I didn't. I was busy laughing at slow losing chicken to the dog. Sorry about that. I also didn't see Soup finding the term. Like, actually, there's just like a little chunk of comments here that didn't appear before, because there's no way I would have missed all 3 of these in a row. That's impressive. Finally started watching the original Mad Max films. Never seen them. Finished the first. And it's a supremely strange movie. I liked it, though. That is a fair assessment of the Mad Max movies, just fucking all of them. Like, Fury Road is a very special sort of film because it really rejuvenated that franchise, and even that is, when you look at it, it's a very strange film, but it's so fucking pretty. It's got a lot to say. But yeah, the Mad Max movies are just very odd, but they are very enjoyable. Semantic satiation? Name of the brain glitch when you say a word over and over until it loses meaning. Grew up with the 90s anime style series. Made sure my daughter watched the entire series as well. Yeah, so I grew up with the 90s anime style series as well. And when I found out they were doing a like semi 3D remake, reboot, keep saying remake, in the 2010s, I went out of my way to find it and watch it, and I really enjoyed it. So if you like the original series, I'm sure you'll like the reboot as well. Oh my god, Chibi is back. Yes, HobbyTan is back. They will still change form at some point in the future because those animations aren't owned by me. And I would much prefer to have, now that HobbyTan is hosted internally, is actually part of the HobbyTan bot, I would much prefer to have actual, like, my own animations which I have commissioned or which I have made myself for HobbyTan, but I do not have the time, energy, nor money to do that right now. So we're working with what I have, frankly, lifted from the bot that I was using before that got hacked. Because I don't trust them. Have you never seen Mad Max? Sometimes you just miss stuff, ain't nothing to it. Yeah, exactly. And what you've got to remember as well is that we've got a diverse range of ages and locations in this chat. So what may have been very easily accessible and available at a specific point in your life for you may not have been for other people in chat. Like, I grew up on a steady diet of 80s Hollywood action movies because that was the stuff that my parents watched, and I therefore had access to it fairly easily. And horror movies as well. My mum really likes horror movies. But other people may not have had that. I was very lucky that I could go over to relatives' houses and watch things that were on cable TV because I didn't have cable TV at home. So anything that was on cable when I was a kid, unless I was in Yorkshire at the time, I missed it. And piracy wasn't quite so easy when I was a child, what with there not really being internet at the time. So, yeah, it's just one of those things. Depending on where you are, how old you are, and what you had access to growing up, you might just have missed things. But do copy that floppy, indeed. You wouldn't 3D print a car because your 3D printer's not big enough, but when you've got a bigger one, or can do it modularly. Oh, God, yeah. Soup, did you have a guy that came round with a car boot full of videotapes of movies that were at the pictures? Oh, I want to know if this is a sort of universal UK thing or a universal global thing from the 90s. What's next? I'd 3D print a car. Yeah, exactly. I would totally fucking 3D print a car. For preservation and backup purposes only. Legal obligation fulfilled. Indeed. Seriously, though, digital archivists are fucking legends. We need more digital archiving. We have lost so much of gaming history, of early gaming history, because nobody archived anything. And it's so sad. Because of people like companies like Nintendo, we're losing modern stuff as well, more recent stuff, and it's disgusting. They really are, Prime B. Can in fact 3D print a car. Yeah, but you can't get one of those at home, can you? One day, maybe. After a while, she'd enter the room with 2 steaming cups. I mean, yeah, fair play. Why bother with a car when you can 3D print a 3D printer and have it print more printers, thus dooming the world to paperclip doomsday? Oh, bravo, Sol. I love the way you think. Didn't have anyone come round with car boot videos, but there used to be people who'd come round pubs with bags full of pirate DVDs. Ah, fabulous. Used to be a thing in Leeds that people sold pirate VHSs in the street. Okay, so it's not strictly the way I experienced it as a child, but it was fairly universal, at least in the UK. Full on Del Boy out of a suitcase thing, yeah. Oh, those early days. What a world, man. What a world. Going up to the nice shifty man in the street, and he opened up his briefcase or his car boot and goes, pick a film. Do you want to watch Cinderella? Do you want to watch Beauty and the Beast? We've got The Little Mermaid. How about Aladdin? Ah, memories. She'd set them on the bedside table and place a kiss on your lips. The coffee would stop steaming and cool in the cups, but neither of you would particularly mind. Years later, Olivia would arrive, and the mornings would be different. Not better nor worse, just different. I like that. That's really well written. Like, they had a kid. Things changed. That doesn't mean they changed in a bad way. Doesn't mean they changed in a good way. They just changed. Good on them for making that distinction there. Oh, yeah. I love abandonware sites. I spend a lot of time on abandonware sites. Somebody has dumped, I can't remember where, but an Eternal Enigma was talking about it. Enigma, absolutely fucking fantastic streamer. I spend a lot of time lurking in his channel. He was saying that somebody has dumped a bunch of like pre-release code and early versions of a bunch of PS2 games onto a free access archive site, and it includes some early builds of, I think, some Resident Evil games and some Silent Hill games, which is pretty fucking neat. It's an unfortunate fact of life that terrible people can sometimes make good art, and as much of an enormous arse piece as Mel Gibson is, he is a good actor. Yes, this is very true. Real star of the show is Hughes Keysburn, who plays Toe Cutter. Fantastic performance. Agreed. That has all just shook a memory free. One of the pirate blokes got the tapes in the wrong boxes, which meant that a copy of Lion King didn't have Lion King on the tape. It was naked people doing things to each other. Very instructive for 13-year-old Soup. Oh no! Oopsie daisy pirate porn. And not in the yar kind of way either. Suddenly breathing becomes a struggle, and not because I'm laughing at the idea of poor impressionable 13-year-old Soup getting to see some loose booby he wasn't expecting on the Lion video. A profound sense of loss engulfs you. So just to clarify for anyone that wasn't here last week, his wife and daughter are alive. However, as part of being undercover, they are pretending that they are dead. They have fake gravestones and everything. That's where he does his drop-offs to his handler. Why do I come into the accidental porn? I don't know, Cypher. You just got really good timing. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well today. But he is, because he's been away from them for so long and he misses them so much, and he's having to pretend that they're dead, he's starting to experience the grief associated with losing your family, as if it had actually happened, basically. 'Tis a rather welcome change to have the family be alive while still being a tragic bit of the character. Yeah, they've used it as his tragic backstory to get him into the cult, because basically, as far as the cult leader is concerned, he has nothing left to lose. He already accidentally killed his family in a road traffic collision. Waffle! Welcome in, and thank you so much for the raid. Welcome on in, raiders. I hope you're all doing well today, and I hope you had a fun stream. Oh god, you were playing Kingdom Hearts. Oh god, you were playing Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 and 2.5 remix. How is your suffering going? That series, oh my god. I played the first one, I played the second one, and then I went, you know what? This is too batshit even for me. I could kill the cards. Oh no. Are you playing the entire series, including the fuck knows how many like mobile games and things? I love Kingdom Hearts. I love the theory of it. I love the aesthetics. But the plot is just batshit after the second one, and I couldn't keep up. I was just like, you know what? Never mind. This is clearly not for me anymore. I like these games. They're really fun to play, but oh my god. I had planned that, yes, but now I'm questioning my choice. Yeah, that is reasonable. They're really good. I used to have the manga and everything. I read the manga. I liked the manga. But oof. Heck. They are a lot. They are a lot. very definitely a Disney to anime fan pipeline with those. In the zaniest way possible. Yeah, so his backstory is that he lost control of his vehicle and his wife and daughter died in the collision, which isn't true. It's just the backstory they've given him while he's undercover. His wife and daughter are fine. I think you need like a degree in astrophysics and probably also in time travel or something to really understand Kingdom Hearts. It's so nebulous and confusing, and the order you need to play the games in to get everything in chronological order is just a mess. It puts the Star Wars machete method to shame. Doing Chain of Memories at the minute, which was made for the Game Boy, yes. Hate the core mechanics. I've heard that from a lot of people. I've never played that one. I think I own the collection though, the one that you're playing. Because it's on the PS3, isn't it? But yeah. But yeah, he's been undercover for a while. He wants to go home. He desperately wants to go home. He loves his family so much, and he really misses them. And the sense of loss that he's feeling at the moment, because he physically cannot see them and has to pretend that they don't exist, so he can't have any contact with them at all, is starting to get to him, it seems. We're also not allowed to drink too much, because if we drink too much, we'll get chatty, and if we get chatty, we'll blab about the fact that our wife and daughter are still alive, and then we'll get killed. So it's pretty intense. It's as if Ava and Olivia were no longer there. As if the accident had really happened. And you can never see them again. You shake your head. How much did you drink last night? We did get pretty blasted. The barman told us we weren't allowed anymore. My Kingdom Hearts story goes like this. Came at it when it first came out. Was playing it in my free time while I was in the army. I was about 3/4 through when another guy that was leaving the unit broke into my room and stole a bunch of my stuff. Then I never bothered to pick the game up again. Oof. Okay. 1, fair. 2, what a fucking prick. 3, nope, he's still a fucking prick. What an arsehole. Like, of all the places to have that happen as well, you wouldn't expect it to expect it in the military. You'd expect to beat that kind of shit out of you. He can go and sit on a cactus. Yes, he can. Poor cactus. We're Boulder. That's our name. Don't be mean to cacti. Agreed. Nah, I'd expect it from the military. Fair enough. See, I only really associated with Air Force folks before this, and, like, they're all weirdly regimented, so I assumed it was the same for all forms of military.
Hello there.
Someone's made a ROM hack of the first Mega Man X, letting you play the game as Zero, complete with appropriately modified narrative and dialogue, modified mechanics that make the gameplay slightly different but still familiar, and fully customized sprites and UI to fit Zero. Oh, that's really neat, Rust. I'm not through it yet, but I really like it. That's very cool. Hey, Buff, welcome in. I hope you're doing well today. I'm doing good, thanks. There are stories of British forces stealing everything, including the kitchen sink. Fucking hell. My old boss was ex-RAF, and if you said anything like that about the RAF in front of him, he'd be fucking livid. Like, there was a line, and you didn't cross it as far as he was concerned, and that would very definitely be crossing the line, doing stuff like that. And entire countries, that is true. Whoever left you the note had done a good job. The fact they did it without you noticing bothers you. Okay, Prime B, get your car sensors on. What kind of car is it? Friend I know that from is also ex-RAF, but not in the flying bit. Ah, okay. So, my Air Force friend was actually USAF rather than RAF. But my boss was ex-RAF. Really depends on the unit. Yeah, that's fair. What do we think, Primbles? Or anybody else in chat that's car inclined? What kind of vehicle is it? It's definitely a Ford. We know that much. It certainly is a car. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it, Soul. It's a car. Reminds me of the car I grew up with. Okay. Alternate 80s, I want to say, Valsion. That was a Talbot Horizon. Good name. Stressed and annoyed, our sister dumped her pets on me and Kian to watch while her boyfriend and our older brother get shit-faced at the pub. As a result, Kian and I can't play in TTRB chess. Oh no! That's really shitty. And at the risk of asking a dumb question, why do her pets need babysitting? Can they not just be alone for a few hours? That's why I'm here too. Ah, that makes sense. It does look shockingly like an 80s US Escort, but the front lights aren't quite right. Okay. Well, hopefully they'll mention what kind of car it is again, and then we'll know. Nicely done, Rocket. Good luck on the boarding attempt. You step out of the car, and the morning's chill takes you by surprise. Mile 54. You think about the graphology classes at the agency. The meaning entwined within each stroke. Yet beyond any theoretical discourse, you recognise the sender of the message. Could it be actual evidence? You look around you. Sorry, my watch is asking me if it can use my location for things. I'm like, no, fuck off. Why are you asking me all this shit all of a sudden? Go away. Ah, I see, Buff. That fucking sucks. Good luck, Cypher. I am going to sit back in my chair because I've just realised I'm leaning forwards again, which is really bad for my shoulders and neck. So I'm going to sit comfortably. And that will make the stream more enjoyable for all of us. The cars of the Bahnsen Knights rest like cattle in the field. Before the circadian rhythms kick in. Okay, who have we seen writing from before? Monique, maybe? Grill isn't right for a Taurus. Why is a watch asking such things? Because it's watching you. Thanks, Soul. Thanks. Takura's spirit, maybe? Not sure. I can't remember. They said it like 5 times last time, and I can't remember. That's how good I am at cars. I forget this shit so easily. Vincent sleeps. That's better. You still remember the story he told you when you asked him about the glasses? Is it true? Or is it part of a story told to fit into the world of the Bahnsen Knights? Is there even a world out there? Instinctively, you look at the sun visor and sigh. Of all the Bahnsen Knights, Monique is the one with whom you find it hardest to strike up a conversation. You're not surprised. You were never good at talking to women. You think of Ava. If it wasn't for her, you two would never have had a first date. Gonna fidget before we go on to the next bit. The only Ford with 4 doors, and that fronted in the 80s, is a Mark I Escort. Don't think it's an Escort. I might be wrong on the era. It's hard to tell because it's kind of post-APOC, but also back in time, from what I understand. Oh, you're most welcome, Buff. You are always welcome to vent here. That goes for all of you, you know that. A problem shared is a problem halved, as they say. It may not be strictly true, but talking about stuff does help. And that's kind of why we like playing these more serious games as well. It gives us an opportunity to process things and to talk about things. And even if we don't feel like talking, we can just talk about what's going on in the game. And that helps us process stuff too. Oh, that's very cool, Rust. You can't stand Luca. His attitudes, the way he talks to people. That giggling. You remember your high school years, where, unfortunately, you crossed paths with several people like him. You don't want to wake anyone up. Last thing you need is for any of these sociopaths to tail you. And you only start the engine when you figure you're good and far down the road. Ah, he was shoving his car so that they wouldn't hear him. Clever. Mile 54. What's Tony after at mile 54? Your stomach grumbles, and a gloomy thought crosses your mind. What if that was your last shot at breakfast? You try to think of the Bahnsen Knights territory, of the number of barns with the giant red cross slapped on the wall. What would all this look like from above? Cooper was always on about the gap between a map and its territory. And he'd shake his head when you said you still hadn't picked up Borges, despite his prodding. This looks suspiciously like the diner from the last 2 games. I wonder if that's intentional. You order a black coffee, eggs, and bacon. If this is your last breakfast, you won't be missing out on anything. Aha! Found it! It's the Ford Sierra. That sounds right. Yes, Prime B. That sounds right. Our vehicle sleuth. Bravo. All of a sudden, appetite's gone. You drop your fork on your plate and wonder if maybe it had been better never having tasted happiness in life. Oh dear. I was looking at Ford of America vehicles when I should have been looking at Ford of Europe. Ah, they are a European company from what I understand, even if the games are set in America, so maybe that's a little bit of an anachronism they've got there. Sierra? This is no Sierra game. Bravo, Waffle. Come now, friend. Bacon isn't that good. He's not had the bacon yet. You feel the dampness in your eyes. I'm wondering if that girl is somebody he knows or if it's just bringing back memories. and the quiver in your hands. Happiness. That's the worst drug. Withdrawal hits harder than a freight train. Oh, he's just, Waffle, no. Waffle, yes! I love how Valsion tries desperately to stop people making bad puns in this chat, but we are all about the bad puns here. Oh, Valsion, I'm pretty sure it was you that recommended that I read the Callahan Chronicles. Thank you. If I haven't already thanked you, thank you. I've been really enjoying them. There's been a couple of things where I've been like, oh boy, that wouldn't get published today. But generally speaking, I've been really, really enjoying them. They're weirdly wholesome and delightfully science fiction and humanist. And it's really nice. So thank you for drawing their attention to me. You know what I mean. Callahan's Cross Time Saloon. Yeah, so Callahan's Cross Time Saloon was published along with every other Callahan story that was ever released in a collection called the Callahan Chronicles, which is what I picked up because it was the easiest way to grab everything. But yeah, I've been really enjoying them. The Halloween one is the one that made me go, oh, fuck. Because there's just casually a guy in blackface there and everyone seems to be okay with it. I'm just like, no. We don't do that. Been eyeing that game too. Oh, the actual game. I've not played the game yet. That's definitely going on the list, but I have not yet played the game. But yeah, other than that, it's been really enjoyable, really interesting, really emotive human stories. Other than that one little bit where there's just some casual blackface, which we do not agree with. I don't know what that means, Primeby, but I'm glad you're happy. Supposed to be packed with puns. Exactly. Yeah, a big thing about Callahan's Place is that everybody makes puns all the time. Sometimes when it's not strictly appropriate to do so. The game is abandonware. You can get it for free. Wicked. Yeah, I'll grab that off of my favourite abandonware site then. Ah, I see, Prime B. I know nothing about cars. Pun day drinking. Wonderful. Yeah, I do love the pun day stuff. But yeah, that will be something that gets played on the point and click, because I think it's a point and click streams. Maybe even sometime next year. Tall Tales Night. Yes. You just want to head back home. You wish all this to be over. How much longer are you going to hold out? Cooper had it figured. More than a few times, he'd yammered about time being the biggest foe for an undercover agent. What was that line he just couldn't quit repeating? Reality's just an illusion we've gotten used to. Oof. Oh, that was a punch in the existential guts that I wasn't expecting tonight. Spider Robinson is a great author talking about compassion. He really, really is. Like I said, they're wonderfully humanist stories, and that makes me very, very happy. Apparently, a lot of people don't consider them to be science fiction because a lot of what happens in them generally isn't particularly science fiction-y. But it is still science fiction, and it's still fantastical in its own way. It's just, it's buried under layers of normalcy, shall we say. And I find that utterly delightful. Because really, the best stories come from a place of reality, don't they? What the? The evidence you left on your daughter's grave is no longer there. But the 3 holy cards are. Father Mario, a holy card used by the agency to catalogue the actions of Tony's circle. Saint Cajetan of Thane? With the aliens and the talking dog, but not sci-fi. I know, right? What is reality? A miserable pile of observations. Yeah, exactly. Used to catalogue the accounting documentation of the Bahnsen Knights. And Mary, undoer of knots, used to catalogue material that could have been forged. 3 holy cards, most of Exodia. Bravo. Welcome in, Podlord. I hope you're doing well today. Along with these holy cards, you find 2 new ones. Our Lady of Health and Saint Expeditus. Fucking hell. You bend down to pick them up, and you feel a great sense of helplessness. What on earth is your handler looking for? More evidence that Tony's a son of a bitch? Isn't it enough to know Cupra's gone? And Cupra? Did he find anything? Or had he simply been discovered? Very cool, Prime B. Our Lady of Health pickups, yes. Your head's spinning, and you try to concentrate. Almost as if nature was giving you a sign. You spot the shadows slipping away under the light of the midday sun. It's time. The road meanders gently, and you think of Ava. How she'd sway to her jam, all graceful and free. It's a stone's throw away now, and you ease off the gas. And there it is, finally. Thought you weren't showing up. You smile. You never considered that option. Here we are. At mile 54. And it ain't just us who've crossed paths at this point, huh? You familiar with the backstory of the Bahnsen Knights? You'd like to tell him yes. To spill that you're an undercover agent, and there's a fat file about it back at the agency. You'd buy a ticket to see the look on his face. Ask him about your partner. But you just shake your head. Hold on a sec. I guarantee it's going to be worth your while. Back in '83, there was this curious happening. 2 F5 tornadoes nailed the heart of the county at the same time. Remember what they blabbered about on their paths on TV? It's tough for you to admit. But it only took him 3 sentences to hook you. You remain silent and let him continue telling his story. I was working as a used car salesman back then. My town took the biggest punch. 1 tornado slashed it south to north. Later, another one swept in southwest and northeast. This way. Like a cross. Got saved by a fluke. Tony takes a pause. Town was pretty much wiped out. My boss was a son of a bitch. Mark Fisher. Mark Fisher? You scour your memory for that name popping up in the agency's dossier. And I ain't just tossing that out. You know what Monique says about adjectives, right? You don't. But you're glad to have a new topic of conversation with the librarian. Anyway. Mark owed me commission for my last sales. He knew I needed that cash, but didn't give a damn. Once the sirens quit wailing, I hoofed it to the office. Sifted through debris, clinging to the hope of scooping up anything. But I found nothing. Cash box was busted open. I never found out who swiped the money. It wasn't Mark. He died in the storms. something snapped in me. It started tearing everything apart. Like a third tornado ripping through the damn offices. Hang on a sec. I'm hoping my mute button worked there. Otherwise, I'm sorry for coughing in your ears. Must have caught the glint of metal. Behind a picture frame was a key. And a legend. Mile 54. I figured Mark had other stuff going on. No worries at all, Rust. You have fun in the wasteland. If you're going to the pit, be safe. So without thinking too much, I left the office. And I started looking for mile 54. You got any clue how many mile 54 markers litter this county? No promises. I know. Be as safe as you can. You shake your head, and Tony grins. Started off with the closest one. I didn't find anything. Kept at it. After a while, landed on the spot. The barn was padlocked, but I got the key. Couldn't believe my eyes. Felt like I'd stepped into heaven's gate. Ha! Okay, that's funny because we're playing a game where we're infiltrating a cult and he just mentioned the name of a very notable cult. The pit. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. And then the other man leaves slightly later. There you go. It is a Sierra. Primey was right. Sierra is stretching as far as you could see. It's a veritable little army. Ah, it's not an anachronism. They're imported. There we go. Good on them. Good on them. My boss had them imported from Europe. And for some reason, couldn't sell them just yet. Know what a cross is, Boulder? Cross is an intersection. A meeting point. That is a really good fucking bit of art. I'm loving what the dithering is doing for the lighting here. So fucking good. Two tornadoes. A guy and a batch of imported cars. Basically so, yeah. Tony takes a pause. His stare's intense. It's hard for you to bear it. But also 2 friends. Or a pair of foes. Each of us carries more than 1 cross. The key's knowing which one to flaunt to others. Silence gets heavy. You don't dare to break it. Shall we go back, Boulder? You nod. And Tony's words rattle in your head. Uh-oh. You feel the heat under the weight of your body. And it brings to mind those cats lounging on parked car hoods. You used to think they did it to ward off the chill. But Cooper had told you that the real reason was different. Cats perch on car hoods to protect themselves. From stray dogs. You know, for what is ostensibly a visual novel, to be this good at cinematic visual storytelling. Just good on them. Because that was deliberate. That wasn't the image came in too quickly or anything like that. That was fucking deliberate. Oh, God. Give me a second, folks. Shanus! Welcome in, my friend, and thank you so much for being subscribed for 2 years! Fucking
Shinus
hell!
has been a sub for 24 months. Very naughty. 2 years
2
of Shinus.
years! 2 years of Chinus, indeed. Oh my god, TTS. For shame. Valsion, thank you for contributing towards the Sierra Point and Click No Peeking challenge. We are getting ever closer to that goal. Terrifying thought. Yeah, I hope you're doing well, Shay. I'm alright. I'm a bit snotty now we've started the stream, but it's been cold today, so maybe that's why. Valsion, thank you for the posture check. I am quite... I am quite close to my microphone, so I can't really shrimp too much, but I will adjust myself nonetheless. There we go. I am Chinnis. You are. You're Chinnis. Whoever Chinnis is. Also, enable Porthos. Did you do the thing, or are you going to... There we go. I was going to say, please don't tell me the bot's decided not to play sounds anymore. Okay.
This is Dogpat Town.
This is indeed Dogpat Town. Fuck off, Bahnsen Knights. This is Dogpat Town. That's 2 treats. Thank you very much, Shanus and Buff. The boy is on his bed. So...
Get nice and moist for me, won't you?
Valsion, thank you for the hydrate. I'm going to have to stop at some point soon and go and get some more water, because I have been glugging this shit.
Pickles.
Pickles indeed. I love the Pixel Pulp games, I really do. I think they're beautiful, I think they're really well written, really cleverly put together, and they always seem to be very nicely tied together. I know there's only 3 of them, but you know what I mean. I'm looking forward to seeing how this one ties into the other 2. But because this is a chatty channel as it is, having a game where I have to read everything out as well, I drink a lot of water during these streams because I'm talking so fucking much. So Wikipedia has made the call. The gavel goat is destroyed, eaten by jackdaws. Okay, I am gonna need some context there, because that seems... I have no idea what you just said. I mean, I know they're all words, and I understand the words individually, but as a whole sentence, I'm a little lost, I'm afraid. Oh, the big straw goat in Sweden! Right, I didn't know that's what it was called. Okay. So does death not by flame mean we'll finally have a good year? That would be fucking nice, wouldn't it? Isn't the gavel goat usually on fire? Oh, yes. But the jackdaws said no this year, apparently. What are you talking about? What are we talking about? About Tony's sermons. And you're buying his bullshit? It's lame to answer a question with a question, Boulder. First non-fire destruction since the 80s. Fuck, that's been a while then. It has burnt more times than not. Indeed. Because of climate change, the straw was full of seed, so the birds slowly ripped it apart. Well, whose fault is that? It's humanity's fault. It's our fault. We did this. We're destroying the planet. The planet is fighting back in its own unique little ways. Pecked to death, indeed. Must be an omen. Next year promises Hitchcock's warning of the avian creatures to come true. No one wanted to burn it to avoid hurting the birds. Okay, that's quite nice. The fact that they were just like, no, just let it go. Let the birds have it. We won't set it on fire. We don't want to hurt the nice burbos. That's nice. We like that. You hear how he clears his throat and spits on the asphalt. Okay, it is really fucking difficult to do viscous bodily fluids in such a limited colour palette, so props to them for trying. I've got massive pecs. I was attacked by a huge chicken. Bravo. You're getting a good joke for that, because it was a good joke, even if it caused me actual physical pain. Did you know that saliva can stimulate soft tissue repair? Oh, Pudlord, thank you for the stretch. Oh, 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 oh. Okay then. I apparently really needed that, folks. Now is a good time for you to have a stretch of your own, because holy shit, you may find, like me, that you were not expecting that. Five-all, thank you very much for contributing towards the Sierra Point and Click No Peeking challenge. I hope you're doing well today. I can't remember if the bar being full is a bad thing or a good thing. I think it's a good thing. I think empty bar is suspicious, full bar is friend. Oh, Buff, thank you for the treat for the bar staff. It's a gummy shark. Thank you. Did you know that saliva can stimulate soft tissue repair is a strong pickup line? It really fucking is, isn't it? No worries at all, Prime B. That was a tasty shark. Oh, bless. Naughty piggy. Behave yourself, little piggle. And that it can accelerate healing. Vincent looks at his arm for a few seconds. It's the little I remember from school. I dropped out at 15. I'd lock myself in my room and cut myself near my elbow. And I'd spit on the wound and stare at it for hours. Okay, content warning for self-harm. I wasn't expecting that. That was very sudden. Guess that's the kind of game we're playing today. Everybody's got their own trauma. They've all got their own baggage. And sometimes they just blurt it out. Oh, wow, that sky. That's so pretty. Yeah, if anyone needs to step away after that sudden revelation there, please feel free to. You are not required to stick around. Do what's best for you. Do what is best for your mental well-being. I know even a passing comment like that can be a bit much for some folks at some points, especially if you're on a low ebb. So please do what is best for you and take care of yourselves. There will be no judgment from me and from anybody else in this chat. If you do get any judgment from anybody else in this chat, you fucking tell me, okay? Because we don't stand for that shit. Limitations are the mother of all invention and all that. Right? Yep. Exactly. Just the clouds look so pretty. I got stressed from shouting at my employees in MechWarrior 5 because they keep breaking my mechs. If I could have them shot for incompetence, I would. Oof. Wow. So you're having a rough time of it in MechWarrior then. That's unfortunate. I haven't played it yet. I think I own it. I'm pretty sure I own it. I think I got it so I could play it with slow, and then we just haven't. So I should do something about that. Or did I buy it for somebody else? Average Merc Company boss. I showed my brother what I was doing once. Okay, so we're going to have a little more conversation about Vincent's self-harm. I will... There we go. I'll put that on the screen until this is over. If you want to mute, step away, do whatever's best for you, by all means do. And I will put, you'll see !delete come up in chat for me to delete the content warning once the conversation is over. And the prick told our stepfather. I can still feel the pounding I took. Things he hurled at me. Years later, I tracked him down and took a butcher knife to him. Fuck! As he bled out on the floor, I started spitting. Spit, 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 and spit. My spit was all over the place. Well, you're getting arrested for that then. You've just left a bunch of DNA at the crime scene. Not to mention the trace evidence. That's a truck. That's a truck. There is an oncoming truck. Except for the hole I put in that piece of shit. Boulder. Cross the truck's path and make it stop. I'll handle the rest. What do we learn here, kids? Don't abuse your children. Yeah. If you find out that your child is inflicting injuries upon themselves, don't beat them up. Find out what's going on, and if they don't want to talk to you, take them to someone that they trust, that they can talk to. You know, like a therapist. Don't abuse children in general. Yeah, don't abuse children in general. It's not hard. Huh? Stars on the lights? Stars on the lights. Ah, yes. Stars on the lights. Very cool. The camera has astigmatism. Eh? No! Definitely not Valsion. Okay. Do this thing. There we go. If you have astigmatism, you see star effects like that from light sources. Oh! Really? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Nobody's ever mentioned that to me before, and now I'm a little concerned. I really am overdue for a visit to the opticians. Yeah, but you'd think the optician would have mentioned it at some point, is what I mean. Fair enough, Buff. I'm gonna save because I feel like this is the thing we can fail. Eyes are liars, this is true. You rush to the door and fire up the engine. Cross the truck's path and make it stop. Hello, Jace. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well today. So that was the plan? It must do, Buff, yeah. You slam down on the gas pedal, trying not to get left behind. Hey. This is a really powerful bit of art. You look to the side, and you spot Vincent clutching something in his right hand. Oh, he got a gun. Oh my god, that face. He's got some proper, like, Alucard energy going on. Like, Helsing Alucard, I mean, not Castlevania Alucard. But yeah, he's got some real fucking Alucard energy. It's an evil look. It really is. The lighting effect behind you makes you look like you're smoking, does it? It's my little nebula dude. He makes like pretty nebula sparkles, and I've got it set to red because we've got a very red game today. I should rewatch the abridged series again. Ah, bitch, I eat people. Fucking love the abridged series. I also really, really like the manga. I still have the manga, actually. And I have the original series and the OVA on DVD. My partner showed me abridged. A Helsing abridged or one of the other abridges. Never seen any of the Helsing stuff. Okay, Helsing abridged. The actual series is really good, but the abridged just... because of how much it takes the piss out of the late season plot twist. It's top tier for me. It really is. Abridged is the only Helsing I've seen. It's so funny. It really is. You know, the folks behind Helsing and Dragon Ball Z Abridged are still doing stuff on YouTube. Very little in the way of like actual abridged content, but they're doing creators commentary on all of the Dragon Ball Z stuff. And they do a lot of, I've been watching some of them today, they do a lot of like smash or passes for random stuff. Like they did one for mascots once and I was utterly horrified by some of their approaches. But it's really good fun, surprisingly wholesome stuff at times, and other times it's just like, whoa, you guys are thirsty. It really did so. It's very fucking Alucard. It is, isn't it? You have a bad feeling about this. Oh, just getting the 80s references in there. Smash or passes are very revealing. They are. The thirst must flow. I think you, particularly Primbles, would appreciate some of their smash or pass videos. The truck driver seems to suspect something, and he's driving at full speed. It's going to be hard for you to overtake him and cross your car in front of him to force him to stop, especially given the oncoming traffic. Okay, we're good for now. The Sierra spins a few times in the air, and you are engulfed by flames. You die instantly upon impact, and the fire burns brightly. Oh, that's really pretty. We died. If anybody wants to add to the death counter, now is your chance, whilst I deal with the treat for the bar staff from Mum. Hello, Mum. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well today. I'm back with coffee. What did I miss? I crashed into a car, Valcion. Welcome back. I hope your coffee's nice. The treat for me is a little gummy turtle? A little gummy turtle. There we go. Thank you, Mum. Did it run it twice? Oh my god, it ran it twice. Okay, fine. Fine. Oh, thank you, Mum, for the treat for Porthos. We'll just linger on the beautiful image of our flaming wreckage whilst I feed the dog. Porthos, there we go. Too busy sniffing his own butt to notice. Good lad. Okay, let's try that again without crashing into a car. We've got this, right? Oh, continue the plan or refuse to hijack the truck. We didn't have these options before. They did indeed do a worst anime dad tier list. They've also done a best Santa tier list for Christmas, which was just a fucking delight to watch. And I found out barely any of them have read any Terry Pratchett because they had to have the Hogfather explained to them. Okay. Let's try this again, and if it doesn't work this time, when we try again, we refuse to hijack the car. Okay, apparently I crashed that time. What happens if we refuse to hijack the car? Do we get shot? We do need to hit the gas, but it's finding a good point to do it without running into another car. Let's see what happens. Fuck you, Boulder. Ease off the gas and watch Vincent Sierra pull away. Vincent is going to do what he was sent to do. Of that you have no doubt. Will the Bahnsen Knights forgive such behaviour? You try to convince yourself that cold feet could happen to anyone, and that maybe all is not lost. You owe the agency a lot. Okay, no, that worked. He actually did hijack the truck without us. Without that transfer, you'd never have crossed paths with Ava. Hold still while we unload, huh? And Olivia wouldn't exist. When you were transferred, the agency had taken care of everything. That's a little bit heavy, don't you think, Valsion? They hired a truck to move you across the country. Uh-oh, Rocket. You got this. A righteous yoink indeed. Good luck. Your father had passed away not long before, and you'd made the decision to sell the house. Nearly everything there had belonged to him. You okay, Porthos? You just rearranging your bed? Okay. Don't worry, it won't be long now. Boxes and boxes from a past that would never return. Oh, hang on, itchy hand. Oh, that's better. Cooper had been there, and he had helped you unload them. You know what? I'm not worried about you talking. The trucker scans left and right. Because you've been sipping through a straw for at least a year. Cooper used to say that silence is more important than words. A person who listens is more significant than the one who talks. And that words mean nothing without someone to hear them. Jesus multiplied the loaves and turned water into wine. Water into wine. Can you imagine? Why settle for a wine? That's watery. There is laughter and some applause. I promised you a better miracle, didn't I? And I multiplied very good wines. But I'm no Jesus, no. I hold those who stand by me in high regard. Tony motions for you to step onto the stage. Oh, fuck. Senpai noticed us, and this is the one place where we don't want that. Jesus fed 5,000 with bread and fish. Who knew so many people loved fish fingers back then? Bravo. I mean, who doesn't love a fish finger sandwich? Even those who show signs of weakness and don't do what I ask them to. Tony winks at you and a shiver runs through your body. You look around. Where's Vincent? Come here, Boulder. And hand out the bottles to the crowd. The atmosphere is booming, and you smile, thinking of Ava. Today I had my first ever fillet of fish from Mackey's. Really, Soup, what did you think? I have had them before. I used to love them when I was a kid. Haven't had one recently. I'm almost entirely strictly a double quarter pounder with cheese kind of person now, because I get pickles with that and I don't have to pay extra for them. Fucking love pickles. Ava had said you didn't go out together enough, so she'd arranged a wine tasting at a new restaurant nearby.
Pickles.
Hey, pickles! Oh man, evangelical humour. The worst and most tepid of humour indeed. It's VeggieTales all over again. Never had one before, and it's basically just a massive fish finger in a bap. It is! You are spot on, Soup. But Olivia would be staying over at Ava's mum's, and you could drink as much wine as you wanted. At least VeggieTales is half decent, up to a point. Prime B. I have not yet played Choo Choo Charles. It's on my wish list, Jace. Honestly, I'm not sure how folks here would handle it. Is it good? No, but it's competent. Up to a point, yes, Prime B. A YouTuber that I'm quite fond of, Laura Crone, did a big video essay on VeggieTales because she grew up in a religious household and has only more recently diverted away from that particular set of religious practices, though I believe she is still religious, just not as religious as she was when she was younger, if you see what I mean. And she goes through literally all of VeggieTales and talks about it in this video essay, and accurately pinpoints the point when they stopped giving a shit about the storytelling, and it's just so funny to me. It's really, really good. Laura Crone, really great YouTuber, does fantastic video essays. Did one about Ghost, which I adored. I put her Ghost video essay in the Discord. I think I put it in the music section a couple of weeks back, so you can get to her channel from there. But she's done one about the Swan Princess as well, which was just oh man, it's good stuff. Game is great, very short, but there's some pickle related content in that game. I will just leave it at that. Oh, okay then, maybe it's something I'll play off stream. Because like I said, I'm not sure how some folks here would handle Choo Choo Charles as a game, but it is something that I'm very intrigued by. Although that night had started with a lot of nonsense. Noses nestled in broad glasses, swirling motions to scrutinise the liquid's body. It's got a lovely bucket, don't you know? Ah, found the link. There you go. Yeah, the ghost one is also really good. I think you will appreciate that one, Brimbles. Really just watch all of her shit, and this goes for all of you. If you like video essays, watch all of Laura Crone's shit, because it's all really fucking good. And elaborate descriptions for simple concepts like red or robust. The mess at the end had not been much different than tonight with the Bahnsen Knights. Listen up. This won't be the only miracle today. Okay, that is a really good bit of art for somebody that's trying to be like super preachy. I fucking love that. He just looks so unhinged. I love it. You catch some of Tony's talk. You're tired of his stories. If thumbing a ride symbolizes a modern-day Lazarus from the Bible... Ugh. Shut up, mate. You'd rather be back home. Who embodies Jesus in this scenario? Hugging Ava. Playing with Olivia. The car or its driver? The fuck is Tony blabbering about? And who's the poor bastard the Falcon twins are hauling on stage? Is that... The man can barely stand. Could the twins have done that to him? The Falcon twins, an odd pair of Bahnsen Knights. Two bodybuilders who lost everything to the tornadoes. And for whom Tony set up a gym in one of the barns. Tony glances to the side and gestures towards the siblings. Seriously, I fucking love the art in this game. All three of the Pixel Pulps have just... and the Christmas card that they did as well. So all four of the Pixel Pulps have just had such gorgeous artwork. They really do use those pixels and those limited colour palettes really effectively. And I'm sorry, I know I go on about it a lot, but I think good things and talented work should be called out and recognised. So I will keep singing the praises of these devs and their artists. Allow me to introduce you to someone. Could this be our modern-day Lazarus? It starts as a murmur. Lazarus. More people join in. Lazarus. And it ends with a roar. Lazarus! Oh, God. They all look so fucking sinister. It's great. Tony walks up to the man. And even though he lowers his voice, you can still hear it from where you're standing. That's the problem with writers, Lou. It is! It's fucking Lou! There's our link to the other two games! It's the journalist! Oh, fuck, what have they done to him? Oh, no, Lou was alright. He's a good lad. He's just doing his job. He brings people back together. Finds creepy little goat boys homes. He's a good man. Has good journalistic integrity, even if he does write about weird shit that nobody believes in. He really is at his Lou. Well done, sir. Lou? Who's Lou? I know who he is. We know who he is. Just because you don't, Boulder. You just don't listen to people. You really think there's nothing to tell here, you son of a bitch? Lou chuckles, the laughter fading into a dry cough. You step over to Lou and offer your shoulder for him to lean on. What are you doing, Boulder? You raise your eyebrows, and Tony appears to hesitate for a moment. But eventually, he nods. Monique? I need everything ready for tomorrow's Stations of the Cross. Vincent? Take Lou to the barn. With a glance in your direction, Vincent looks surprised and starts to complain. Right now. Poor Lou. So if I'm understanding what Tony said correctly, Lou refused to write an article about him and what the Bahnsen Knights are doing, and has been beaten up as a result. You managed to get Lou into the back seat. It would have been easier with Vincent's help, but when you asked him, he just bared his teeth at you. That's because we didn't help him hijack the truck. So Tony is now Delulu. Here we go. Here we go.
You serious?
And sat behind the wheel of his Sierra, Lou seemed to have fallen asleep. Could this guy be the key to finally putting an end to it all? I hate it so much. Okay, we're in agreement with that one, Valsion. But you know what you're getting yourself into when you come here. You feel the car slowing down. And one day, you'll be making puns too. We all pun down here, Valsion. We all pun down here. And you instinctively clench your fist. Don't get your hopes up, Boulder. Neither one of you is important enough to be executed in the middle of nowhere. Pun of us! Pun of us! Okay, that was great. That was great. It's a good job he's friendly with us, because otherwise not hijacking the truck would have really pissed him off, instead of just making us look like a coward. It's the wine. I can't take it anymore. Oh, he needs to pee. Punctual puns. Bravo, Fiver. The noise they've chosen for his urination is... well, it's certainly a choice. You don't have much time. You shake Lou until he wakes up. Why have they got you trapped? Lou coughs before answering. Tony wants me to. He's having a hard time concentrating, and you squeeze his shoulder. He has Eggman's laser piss. He does. He really does. You know, if you hadn't have corrected your spelling, I wouldn't have noticed that there was an extra I in there. He wants me to write his gospel. You start talking, and Vincent gets in the car. What are you doing, motherfucker? Before you open your mouth, Vincent turns around and points the shotgun at you. Oh shit, we're gonna get shot. We died in the back of the car! Hooray! Okay, there are achievements for getting all of the deaths in this game, so I'm not too fussed about dying repeatedly. Also, we get different art every time, which is nice. It's not like Broken Sword where you just get dumped in the river no matter what you do. The shot goes through your abdomen, shattering the back seat of the Sierra. I don't know why HobbyTan is running the death command twice in a row every time someone redeems that. I'm going to have to look into it. But on the plus side, the counter doesn't seem to be ticking up the second time round. Or if it is, it's ticking it up to the correct number. So, could be worse, I guess. Tony's not going to be happy that he knackered the Sierra as well. It's not quite running the command twice, it's outputting twice. Oh no, it's running the command twice because it did 2 different sound effects there. Chibi just assumes you'll die again, yeah, which is fair, because I will. I think I know what's happened. I think because I've got that particular command connected to multiple different things, it's only started doing this since the big StreamerBot update where things moved around. No, it increments twice. It's just not incrementing every single time the command is run, because it said 1 and 2 last time as well. Oh, ow. Or 0 and 2 last time. It's being a bit screwy. I think because things have moved around since the command was built, it may be that it's triggering the command twice by accident. Last time it was 0 and 1. Okay, so it is incrementing every time it runs the command then. It's just, it's starting at 0 instead of starting at 1. Which I've had issues with in the past, so I've been meaning to fix that. I'll add it to the list. Yeah, that's fine. We're at the right number. That's all that matters right now. Lou covers his face and starts crying, covered in blood that doesn't belong to him. Wow. Okay, so we've not asked him. It started us from the beginning of this interaction. No, okay, it hasn't. Okay, it starts us from... We stop here. There we go. You fall silent and hear Vincent's footsteps outside the car. Did you miss me? I thought it had started us from the very beginning of the conversation there, which is why we got shot a second time instead of only getting shot once. I think it's starting any death count at -1. So it's incrementing it to 0, then outputting, and then incrementing it to 1, and then outputting, and so on. Or something like that. But yeah, I'll fix it. It's attempting... Ah, no, I see what you're saying. It's attempting to increment it and then not incrementing it, because that was the problem I was having before, was it was staying at 0 after the first death command was pulled. Which might be what's causing the double outputs, now I think about it. I might have tried to put something in place to fix that by forcing it to increment a second time to bring it up to the correct number. And now it's outputting it twice instead. Yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll fix it. Should be easy enough to do. Hey, wipe that expression off your face, Boulder. What expression? We leave Lou in the barn and meet the others at Danny's. He's just got such a sinister smile. Double the death, double the fun. I suppose so. No, I know, Prime B. I'm the same. Like, I'm going to be thinking about it all fucking stream, and then I'll try and fix it off stream, like, immediately when the stream is over. This is what happens when I have bot problems during a stream. I will immediately go and try and fix them after the stream, even if it's like 3 in the morning, because I cannot have... I have to. Coder's curse, yeah. Exactly. And it's very... I built this thing, why isn't it working? It was working before, why isn't it working? I haven't touched it. Which again, coder's curse. You smirk, but deep down, you know time is running out. And one way or another, all of this has to come to an end. Okay? I do wonder if Vincent has to practice that grin. It is wonderfully villainous. It really is. Okay, so we're on to chapter 7. I wonder how many chapters this is. You enter the bar with a knot in your stomach. You feel that Tony is entering a spiral of madness that is dragging all the Bahnsen nights down. You are not a Bahnsen knight. You take a deep breath and cling to images of your other life. Something tells you that you don't have much time left. And maybe this is your last night to look for new evidence in the bar. Okay, so that's good to know. That's basically the game going, you're not coming back here. Hey, Kian, welcome in. I hope you're doing okay today. I know you've had unscheduled change in plans this evening, but I hope things are going okay, that you're doing all right despite that. Two goons checking that no one enters the office. Okay, so we still can't go in the office. We looked at the pictures last time, so we're not going to do that again. Let's see if there's any new singles in the jukebox. There probably won't be. There is not. Barman, 2 shots of incriminating evidence, please. The barman's not in on it, though. Let's go to the bar. Oh, Kevin will tell us his stories tonight. Okay, so empty bar is good. Full bar is bad. Vincent doesn't trust us and doesn't like us. Kevin likes us. Nicely done, Rocket. Well done. Balance is restored. I'm glad to hear balance has been restored. You can hear them in any order you like. Although there's something about the chronological order that seems to make everything easier to understand. Yay for Kevin! We like Kevin. Kevin looks like he was a pugilist in a past life. Just sort of imagine him doing this. And I'm too close to my microphone to be doing silly things like that. Sorry for punching the microphone, everybody. Now give her red stripes. Yes. Kevin knows his fisticuffs, he does. Kevin, you jolly mercenary pirate, do you have a story to tell us that would get us out of our prickly situation? I hope he does. The stories I wrote about this guy are called The Ascent, The Ones Above, and The Fall. Oh, wow, check this guy out. Hang on. He's becoming an emote on the Discord. There are no 2 words about it. He is definitely becoming an emote on the Discord. I'm sure we can find a good use for him.
Hello?
Hi, Res Kevin! Yes. He joined the FBI when he was pretty young, but his real rise happened a few years ago. About the same time, the world got wise to the concept of serial killers. Between 1973 and 1977, there were 5 murders perpetrated by travelling salesmen in the American Midwest. Police in each town managed to apprehend the killers after investigations that were quite similar to each other. The evidence seemed clear. Neighbours locating the salesman at the scene of each crime. Murders committed with the objects that each salesman was selling. In all cases, the salesmen claimed their innocence. But who in their right mind wouldn't try to save themselves from a life sentence? Then there's another murder by another salesman. Our agent decides to take another look at the past cases, start spotting some coincidences. He finds a witness testimony that the police seemed to have dismissed. A family car had been seen driving around the block of one of the victims. An idea began to form in our man's head. Why would anyone assume that a salesman would kill one of his potential customers? And not only that, why would anyone assume that several salesmen, 6 if we take into account the last murder, would kill their potential customers. Salesmen just have a murder quota or they lose their job. Yeah, that's exactly how it works. Beware the Avon lady. It's terrifying what she can do with a pair of nail scissors. One of my sister's cats has a messed up nose, so her snores sound like a door opening. Oh my god. That is both adorable and slightly concerning. Smashes down door. Avon calling! Yep. Chainsaw. I'd watch that horror movie. That's a B horror movie plot right there. Porthos has jumped up because I said Avon calling in a silly voice. Hi, buddy. Don't look over there, because that's where my little nebula guy is, and you'll hurt your eyes. And we do not want you to hurt your eyes. Your eyesight's bad enough already. The Avoning, indeed. Okay, so I can't show you the rest of him, but you can watch his butt while I pet him. Is that good? He's gonna fall. You're gonna fall. Okay. That's enough, baby. Good boy. Bye-bye. He's such a cutie. He was being so sweet then. Didn't try to lick me or anything. He was just enjoying the butt scratches. Wasn't it more logical to assume the existence of another individual? Him good boy. Him very good boy. We love our good boy. Yes, you're a good boy. Do you want up on the chair now? Go on then. Oh, fucking hell. Hello, you adorable tiny terror. Fantastic, Rocket. Oh, he wants more scratches. That's why he's up on the chair. Because he knows I need my right hand for my mouse. So this way he can get scratches whilst I play the game. You're gonna fall? Silly bugger. He can't really scratch himself. Yeah, exactly. This neck ain't gonna scratch itself, you know, Ma. That's how our agent found the serial killer he dubbed the Red Herring Killer. Oh, that's a fantastic name for a murderer. I mean, we need to stop referring to serial killers with fun names and cool names. No more serial killer worship. They kill people. The victims should be the focus. I say that as someone who studied serial killers at university. The Duracell bunny killer. Oh, what was the multi-tool the main character's dad was selling in Gremlins called? Was it just a handyman or something like that? Hang on a minute, buddy. Let me move the chair so that you don't keep spinning. There's a good lad. You just stay there. There you go. And now I can pet you and you won't spin under the desk and cause damage. Ronald McDonald. Yes. Unbelievably, the Red Herring Killer actually did turn out to be a salesman. A salesman who was looking for other peddlers who shared some part of his route. He followed to choose his victims and commit the murders under the cover of evidence that convinced the police. The FBI was able to convict the Red Herring Killer of all 6 crimes, and our agent was celebrated in national and international media. But do you want to know why he was promoted so quickly? It wasn't because of the investigation itself. It was because of the name. Red Herring Killer. The name was very good. Only seen Gremlins 2, the one that unfortunately has Hulk Hogan in it. Yes. And you know what? Him as a person aside, his little bit in Gremlins 2 is actually really good fun. Gremlins 2 is a film that actively hates its predecessor and is very angry about the fact that people watched the first Gremlins movie. And I kind of love that, and I love how self-aware and silly it is. The first Gremlins is great, though. It's a proper Christmas horror classic as far as I'm concerned, but because Slow doesn't like horror movies, I don't get to watch it at Christmas with him. I have to watch it when he's asleep. The smart gremlin is a trick. Brainy gremlin is wonderful. Also, the really silly one is apparently called Daffy. But I was watching the cinema wins for Gremlins 2 the other day, and he calls the Daffy gremlin Goober, and I think Goober is a way better name for him. So this is Those Above. By this time, our agent had already made a name for himself in the Bureau. Those were the years when serial killer investigations dominated the newspapers and television. Years in which the Bureau organised talks and conferences dedicated to finding a general definition of serial killer. Setting them apart from terms like mass murderer or multiple murderer. There is a difference. There is a difference between mass murderer and a multiple murderer and a serial killer. Like actual dictionary definitions at this point. Our agent took part in these events. He even wrote articles for the Bureau's publications. I think the Bureau also targeted the mob at that time. They did indeed. Though when aren't the Bureau targeting the mob? Let's face it. Time between murders, 3 or more murders. All these characteristics were defined in this period. This is true. Two of the big names in this period of early criminology, because this is what it is, it's early criminology, and the early study of serial killers, were Robert Ressler and John Douglas, who have both written memoirs about their time working for the FBI. And both are very interesting, though apparently one of them, I'm not saying which, is given to overinflating his participation in certain events. And having read both memoirs, yeah, that makes sense. Because one of them is very much bigging up the entire team that worked on things and going, oh yeah, I was there too. And the other one is just like, I did this, I did that, I'm great. My sister's dog is looking at the snoring cat like, seriously, I'm trying to sleep. Oh boy, have I been there. But time passed and the media stopped consulting our agent. He was carrying out several important investigations, but wasn't landing any arrests. Oh, he's getting comfy now. Good boy. A body appeared in 1980 with enough to suggest it might be linked to a murder from 78. Why did you study this? I did criminology and forensic science at University of Alcyon. I wanted to be a forensic scientist when I got out of university, but there were no jobs. So now I work in IT security. I studied it because I'm interested in what makes people tick and why a person would want to do something like that to another person so that I can stop it from happening. Studied crime, policing, prison system, anything related to criminology, criminal justice was covered during my degree. And it was all very, very interesting. And I read the memoirs because they were interesting to me. And you may think that's weird, Valsion, and that's fine. Because we're all different. But I find people just sort of generally kind of fascinating. And I like to understand things. The Bureau had developed a query system to facilitate cross-referencing of information. But 2 victims weren't enough to make a serial killer. This is very true. It would be considered probably just a multiple murderer at that point. Oh, congratulations, Rocket! Our agent possesses unique insights. And he knows from the way the press, the movies, and the TV treat them. Serial killers had started to be seen as celebrities, yes. And this is what I was saying earlier. We need to stop this hero worship bullshit when it comes to serial killers. And it's gotten worse because of, like, docudramas about the killers. We're losing focus on the victims and focusing more and more on the killers. And whilst I appreciate there's a level of sympathy for the devil there, and understanding what has gone on in a person's life can help to understand why they did the things that they did, we do still need to remember that people lost their lives as a result of what they did. And those people need to be considered first and foremost, and their families, especially if it's a more recent murder, need to be considered first and foremost. I find cults fascinating. They activate the same how do you tick part of my brain. Exactly, Kian. That's why I like playing games with cults in so much and why I read so much about cults. Because cults, really, they go right to the core of what it is to be part of a society and a community and all the dangers associated with just being human in general. But it's fascinating, it really is. And it's part of why I'm enjoying this so much, because we actually get to infiltrate the cult on purpose this time, instead of just being somewhere that turns out to be a cult. No worries at all, Primbles. Enjoy your food. Not criticism. I was just wondering. I didn't say you were criticising. I was just saying if you think it's weird, then that's fine. Like, I'm not defensive about this shit. I know some people think the fact that I studied criminology because I wanted to is weird. But, meh. Yeah, I studied it because I like to understand what makes people tick, and if there's anybody that it's worth learning about what makes them tick, it's definitely serial killers and criminals in general. And it taught me a lot and helped me evaluate a lot of biases I had at the time, because like a lot of folks, I'd only really understood things like benefit fraud through the eyes of the media and the people that said that benefit fraud was a crime. But when you see the actual statistics for something like that, as an example, benefit fraud makes up such a small portion of all white-collar financial crime. Wait, did you become a streamer for similar reasons? Are we in a cult now? No, we are not in a cult. This is not a cult. This is a community. Oh my god. No, I became a streamer because I like sharing things with other people. No, I became a streamer because I was trapped at home during COVID and thought other people might feel as fenced in as I did, and that maybe having a nice little virtual space where we could all hobby together, because that was what started this all off, would be nice. And it's just ballooned out into being basically a second job for me, which I absolutely adore. I wouldn't have it any other way. It sounds like something a cult leader would say. Yeah, here's the difference. I'm not gonna take your shoes off you. And I don't give a fuck if you leave. I mean, I'll be sad if you leave, obviously, because I like you, like you're lovely. I have a wonderful community. But I'm not gonna stop you from leaving. If you want to leave, you can leave. You can leave whenever you like. Also, I'm not going to make you drink Flavor Aid. No sacrifices, Shanus. Not in the name of the channel. Getting all that blood out of the tiles in the bar is a nightmare. The only benefit fraud I can think of is Ted DeBase Sr., the $1 Million Man of WWE fame, stealing millions of Mississippi's welfare money with his sons. See, there's the thing. In the UK, benefit fraudsters, especially during the 2000s, got a lot of shit. And people on benefits got a lot of shit, just in general. But tonight it was a Terry's Dark Chocolate Orange. Okay, you are welcome to sacrifice chocolate in name of the stream. I just wish I had some so that I could join in. Oh, I'd love a chocolate orange right now. Anyway, when you look at the statistics, the crimes committed by people in lower economic positions, like folks that are on benefits, folks that commit petty theft of things like groceries and things like that because they can't afford to buy the groceries, that makes up such a small amount of actual impactful crime in comparison to, say, embezzlement or money laundering or any of that side of things. That's where all the real damage is being done, but that never gets talked about, never gets a light shone on it, and never gets dealt with because the people committing it are in power. And that's all I'm saying on that specific topic right now, because it isn't strictly relevant to what's going on in the game. However, that is a large part of what colours my playthrough of RoboCop Rogue City, because I studied this shit at university, and I know exactly what the stats are actually like for all this shit, and I'm just like, Argh. Embezzlement would have been a better term for me to use. No, you were correct with benefit fraud there if you're thinking about... because welfare is benefits in America. So that makes sense. That is what that was. But I bet he didn't get punished for that in the way that somebody committing benefit fraud that actually, you know, like they'd filled out the paperwork wrong or something like that would have been. Remember, kids, do your part for the cult. Remove a Tory from power. Yes. Fuck yes. Okay. If that's what our manifesto is going to be, then yes, we can be a cult. Because that I will stand behind. Wasn't benefits, it was charity donations through their church. Oh, fuck. That's even worse. Fucking charity fraud, man. I hate shit like that. Only a civil case, so he has to pay it back. Oh, diddums. A slap on the wrist for someone with that kind of money. Fucking slap on the wrist. Whereas people who are on benefits will get sent to prison or get told to pay a fine on top of what they owe that they can't afford to pay back. It's... the whole system's just... the system isn't broken. The system is working exactly as it's supposed to. The system is designed to break you and to keep you down. I am seeing as I'm getting older that I'm going from being an Optimus Prime to being a Megatron, and I'm not sure how to feel about that. If the punishment is a fine, it's only a crime for the poor. Exactly. Taxes also only relevant on anything like that. It's just a tax on the poor. It's not designed to rehabilitate. It's not designed to decrease recidivism, anything like that. It's literally just to line people's pockets and to make other people suffer. Anyway, back to serial killers. This simple fact was combined with the egomania typical of killers. Would change everything. Our agent had an idea. He spoke to one of his contacts in the press and told him about the two victims, adding a third that was unrelated to the other two, but with whom he called out a simple coincidence. And he asked the journalist to refer to the murderer as the Silver Ring Killer in his article. The day after the story was published, a man phoned the bureau calling himself the Harpstring Killer, and he said he had nothing to do with the third murder. But he did take credit for the first two, and he'd used the harpstring to garrote them. Clever. Our agent explained to him that a series requires a third element, and without that third element it wasn't a series and therefore had no right to be given a name. The murderer insulted him and hung up. Unfortunately, there hadn't been time to trace the call. Oh, that's a shame. That is really clever though. So, one really good way of catching serial killers out, and I'll give you a good example of this in a minute. One really good way to catch a serial killer out is to appeal to their ego, because a lot of them are more than a little bit egomaniacal. And a really good example of this is the Unabomber. So the Unabomber is a fellow who had a manifesto, and old Teddy, sent bombs through the US Postal Service, I believe, put them in mailboxes and stuff like that, primarily. I think he delivered some to other locations as well, but he was a bomber, as his fun name suggests. And they actually caught him out because of his manifesto and because of the way he wrote in his manifesto. So I'm sure you've all heard the phrase, you can't have your cake and eat it. Better known for other work. Hey, Arcraft, how you doing? Welcome in. Yeah, I'm sure you've all heard the phrase, you can't have your cake and eat it. You may have even used it. Now, Teddy boy, knew that phrase was being said and written incorrectly. It's actually, you can't eat your cake and have it. So when he wrote his manifesto and used that phrase, he wrote it the correct way. And he got very, very angry in the presence of somebody when it was used incorrectly, and that was part of how the FBI managed to find him, because of him being a stickler for using phrases correctly, and that one specifically. He's in ATX, Florida now, so spends 23 hours a day in solitary last I checked. Probably for the best. Not great for his mental well-being, I'm sure, but probably for the best. But yeah, so the trick there was to deliberately use the phrase incorrectly and see who would pitch a fit, basically. And you can do little things like that. They tried the same thing with the Zodiac, but the Zodiac didn't fall for it. Or didn't get riled up enough to drop any useful hints, at the very least. But it's a commonly used trick now to just sort of get them to slip up by appealing to their ego in one way or another, or by deliberately riling them up. Two days later, a new victim appeared and the Bureau quickly apprehended the killer. He had been careless this time. Our agent was back in all the papers and on TV. Yeah, there you go, look. So somebody else had to die in this particular story for it to work, but he'd gone from being an organised killer to what's referred to as a disorganised killer because he'd been riled up. So he hadn't prepped, or he hadn't planned things accordingly. The power of pedantry betrays us. It does indeed, Shanus. basically, the trick to catching a serial killer is pretending that you're their annoying younger sibling, figuring out what pushes their buttons and then pushing them really fucking hard. And no, phoning them up and saying Mum says it's my turn on the Xbox will not work. But he couldn't stop thinking about the third victim. Had it been his fault? Well, you could say that. A thing I'm actually good at. Mum said it's my turn to kill people. This is our agent's last case. The one that broke him. The one that led to nothing but coffee for breakfast. In a shitty bar like mine. Our agent had known success. He'd been in the papers, on TV. His name was recognised in the field, and he was respected by his peers. But not all agents were as lucky. Serial killers were grabbing the attention of the American people. And there were some agents who couldn't stand it. I would kill for a coffee cake. Ooh, you know, I don't normally like coffee cake, but now that you say it, I just really want cake. The ice block killer had been apprehended by an agent we'll call Bob. Bob had managed to solve a case that had first appeared to be 7 suicides by hanging. By apprehending a suspect, he dubbed the ice block killer. Cake is good. Cake is very good. We like cake. Cake. Now everybody in chat wants cake. Sorry. According to Bob, the ice block killer knocked out his victims with a sleeping pill, and he'd stage a fake suicide using an ice block. He'd put the block on the floor and hang his victims from a ceiling beam, making sure they stood on the ice. Then he'd leave the scene, making sure he had an alibi that would place him far away from the crime. But that would... that would take so fucking long. And there'd be evidence that an ice block had melted underneath them, so how would nobody have noticed that the first time? I wanted cake today, but the bakery didn't have any, so I bought cake mix and made my own. Good plan, Arcraft. And good on you. Like, I never have the energy to do that. Sometimes I'll make a microwave mug cake. I'm good without cake. Okay. At least one member of chat does not want cake. I have corrected my statement, Valsion. Yeah, sometimes I'll make a microwave mug cake if I'm, like, really desperate for cake and in a bit of a pinch, but... I've never gone out to the shops to buy cake mix or cake making ingredients when I fancied cake just because I want cake. Also, you can't exactly tie their hands, so why didn't they free themselves? Yeah, I don't know. It's all very silly. I make cake for a living, so I'm good. Ah, yeah, no, that's fair. That's completely fair. I suspect if I made cake for a living, I would also be disinterested in cake. I've got to admit, I used to work at Greg's, and that really put me off, like, sausage rolls and cheese and onion pasties, which is a shame because I fucking love cheese and onion pasties. It's my two favourite things, my three favourite things inside pastry, which is my other favourite thing. But yeah, when I was working at Greg's, I just could not. Could not. And I won't eat anything from Greg's now either. Just make it myself. Or, like, get pre-made shit from the shops. Just not Greg's. Never been to Greg's. It's definitely a staple up here in Scotland, and it's definitely a staple in England. I'm guessing it's not quite so popular in Ireland. The victim would be hanged to death when he couldn't stand on the ice anymore, which would melt into a puddle. Our agent had some doubts about Bob's investigation, and at a retirement party he took advantage of Bob being drunk to ask him about the case. Laughing, Bob told him that he, of all people, should know the real answer. Bob had created the serial killer by falsely accusing one man of 7 murders that were nothing more than 7 isolated suicides. He'd forged evidence, fabricated testimonies, and pulled some favours from friends in the press. Our agent couldn't take it. He reviewed the investigation and sent a detailed analysis to a journalist he trusted. He knew that if they kept everything inside the bureau, Bob wouldn't receive the punishment he deserved. But again, he miscalculated. That's the malice of practice. It really fucking is. Really fucking is. Okay, now that Sleepy Boy is asleep in his chair, I'm gonna go back to this camera because you can't even really see his butt. Minutes after the report went out on TV, Bob was found hanging in his home. Our agent was blamed for Bob's suicide. Fuck's sake. And at times he seemed to bear it. But one day he came across a book of kids' riddles in a used bookstore. And he would see how the case Bob had built, the hanging and the ice block, had been nothing but a brutal, low-grade intellectual exercise. Our agent would buy that book of riddles and carry it everywhere. Hey, Turp, welcome in. I hope you're doing well today. He would give up the bureau, and he'd have just coffee for breakfast in a bar like this one, drinking in silence, and serving his own sentence. Wow, that was a sad trilogy. Understandable, though. Book of Riddles, plain as a pain. Kevin looks at you and smiles. Attention, everyone. He rings a bell and announces the next round is on the house. The goons approach the bar. Now's your chance. Yes! Good on you, Kevin. Good lad. You don't have much time. Oh dear God, we don't have much time. Save, save, save. Clothes. You check the pockets of the pants and coats and find nothing. Property deed and Tony's signature. You can't believe your luck. Rifle through the cushions, nothing. Exit. Boulder? You pretend to be drunk. Restroom? You're not sure she bites it. You leave the office and Monique comes out behind you. You see her walk up to the table where the others are and try to calm down. The goons are back in their positions, but we did grab some evidence before we were snuck out, so... Snuck out? No. Chased out. Being crushed by 12-hour work shifts through New Year's, but other than that, I'm good. Oh, Turp, I'm so sorry to hear that. That sounds really rough. Shame we can't order a coffee now. Yeah. Cheerier than some episodes of Criminal Minds, that's true. Theatrically stumbled out, we did. We drama queened it. You lost your only chance. We did not. We got a property deed out of that. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save into a new slot. So I've got this to go back to. Because then what I can potentially do, if there's more evidence to find, is I can go back to this save and find the rest of the evidence, because I know where at least one piece of it is now. Kind kind of gaming the system a little bit there, but it saves me some hassle if I need to go back for like completionist reasons, which I would like to do. I still have some achievements to get in the other two Pixel Pulps as well, but I'm struggling with them because it's like winning a certain amount of the chance games and stuff like that, that it's just random chance. You've got no way of making sure that you win. Okay. Back. Go to the bar. We're gonna order a beer. You drink your beer in silence. It's the first one of the night. Though your handler's strategy is smart, you know you can't drink too much. There's a point at which no matter how well you can hold your booze, you're going to start talking. And on that borderline between what's fact and what's fiction, you run the risk of someone pulling the veil and everything coming to an abrupt end. Now, I know that I have the opportunity to get myself killed here by drinking way too much beer and then going and talking to everyone, but I'm going to save that for off stream. I hope you don't mind. Or we can do like a little bit of a completionist run at the end of the playthrough, like I did for Azazel's Christmas Fable, where we just go back and try and get some achievements. Let's see if I can get a thing. A bullseye. That's the word I'm looking for. Oh no, that's not a bullseye. That's bad. Okay, no. I'm not even drunk. That's the worst thing. She's got really shaky arms. It's like the fucking snake thing in A Link to the Past. It just goes wherever it wants. Nah, it's not gonna happen. Let's go sit with the knights. I'm so bad at darts. See, in real life, I'm actually not too bad at darts. Darts and pool, I'm not too bad at. I'm good at bar sports. Bar sports and martial arts, that's all I'm any good at. That's not true, I'm alright at archery as well. Though, I suppose you could consider archery a form of martial art, depending on what uniform you're wearing while you do it. I'm not playing solitaire again. There is a solitaire game in every single Pixel Pulp, and I suck at them all. We're just gonna have a chat with everyone. We're gonna ask Monique about adjectives because we now have something to say to her. Why are you asking me? Tony mentioned it. She sighs. Tony believes in the power of the verb. And that's why his whole speech is religious. Religions speak of the verb because they believe the true mystery of being resides in change, in transmutation. Things do not simply be. Things are transformed. This allows them to divide existence into states. Up and down. Life and death. Heaven and hell. The verb is change, and to control the verb is to arrogate to oneself the possibility of that change. Those who control the verb control the state of things. Who would you pick for your bullseye team? like actual darts players, because I don't know darts players. I am okay at darts myself, but I don't actively follow it. Though I did used to watch Bullseye when I was a kid because it was fun. I also used to watch Big Break. Loved shows like that. I miss the days of those sort of cheerful, slightly comedic, sporting game TV shows. But if I had to pick people from like the community for my Bullseye team, I would pick whichever members of the community would be willing to throw some darts in a safe direction that wasn't my head. Welcome back, Primbles. Did you enjoy your food? The adjective is something else. This table. Is it round or square? Oh, we eating sharp pointy boys. We were. I wasn't doing very well at it. I'd do much better at it in real life. Ah, only just got it. Now munching. What you got? Tell us. Go on, tell us. You know how much I love to live vicariously through people. Does it really matter? Isn't it a table after all? A place to rest your glasses and get together to talk? Bergie, lovely. Many believe that adjectives are superfluous. But you know what, Boulder? Humanity is also superfluous. And I like being human. I like Monique. Humanity adjectivizes existence. I fucking love that phrase. I need to try and remember that. I probably won't, so I'm just going to screenshot it. Because that is a great phrase. A describe-y word, Kian. So, like, Monique's hair is short. Describe-y isn't a real word, and I'm just like, wow. Me speak English? Monique takes a sip of beer. There's a good quote for you, you son of a bitch. Okay, I'm a little offended that she's just like, yeah, there's a good quote for you, and I screenshotted it, but yeah, I feel called out. Something tells you Monique is talking to someone else. Yeah, gee, I wonder who. Monique looks ahead. You wonder what she's thinking about. And for the moment, you can't think of anything else to say to her. Descriptive. That is the word I was aiming for, and my brain went describe-y. All words are made-up words. This is very true. Descriptive is the word I was looking for, or describing. But yeah, my brain went describe-y instead. You know when your brain just does a blep? Rule 1 of English, if all involved understand, it's valid. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I am very much the derpy head of King Ghidorah right now, though. I'm gonna have to teach the captions what King Ghidorah is, because it doesn't know. It's trying. Probably because I'm pronouncing it the way the Japanese folks do. It's not bad grammar, it's Joycean. Not heard that one before, Soup. Vincent hates us. So, Vincent shakes his head from side to side. I don't talk to cowards, Boulder. Yeah, he doesn't want to talk to us anymore. Luca doesn't want to talk to us. So basically the only person in the team that will talk to us now is Monique. Was an excuse we used in English class when I was a lad. Oh, I like that one. Is that a reference to James Joyce, perchance? English grammar is a set of conventions, not rules, ergo no such thing as bad grammar. Thank you, Primbles. I thought it might be somehow. Thinking about Stephen Fry narrating some of Joyce's Odyssey. And like the onomatopoeic language that he uses instead of describing things, which I've always like. I really struggled to read the Odyssey when I was younger, but I have an appreciation for that unusual command of language now that I'm older. On the topics that activate our brains, I went down the rabbit hole of sovereign citizens and how fucking weird they are. Sovereign citizens? How much longer are you going to resist? You hear a noise behind you. Nice night, isn't it? It's Vincent. I thought you didn't talk to cowards, Vincent. The scene reminds you of those thrillers where two characters meet in the shadows to exchange some information. But something tells you that this time it will be different. Vincent pulls out his knife and you don't have time to react. You're a worthless piece of shit, Boulder. Wow! You spit blood and smile. No, Vincent couldn't be more wrong. You are not Boulder. That was... We're not going outside. We're not going outside. That is a bad plan that will get us murder-rated. Ah, I see. Yeah, okay. I get you now, Kian. Yeah, that is a bit of a rabbit hole, isn't it? I'm so dumb that while I've read Ulysses, I was only able to recognise superficial themes such as religion and nationalism and not comprehend deeper ideas such as remorse of conscience. So dumb that I'm barely literate. Oh, that's not true at all, Terp. Here's the thing. Depending on what you had to study at school, at any level of schooling, you might pick more things out than other people, you might pick less things out. But it doesn't matter. If you enjoyed the experience of reading that book and you got something out of it, it doesn't matter how many themes you encountered, how many ideas or like deeper concepts or potential meanings you pulled from the work. As long as you enjoyed the journey and you got something out of it for you, that's what fucking matters. And don't let anyone ever tell you differently. A book is an opportunity to take you away from the things that ail you, essentially. It's an opportunity for escapism. It is an adventure encapsulated between two pieces of cardboard. And that is your adventure. No two people will experience a book or take from a book the same things. No one will experience it the same way you do. And as long as you have a good time with it, you enjoy that experience, that's what matters. It's the same for movies, it's the same for video games. Media is genuinely in the eye of the beholder. It is indeed. Media, like beauty, is in the eye of the beholder. A curtain can be a curtain, or it can be something greater. Exactly. I had an English literature teacher who nearly crushed my love of reading. Silly bastard had an idea on how a book should be regarded, and if you tried to have your own opinion, he'd trash you for it. Well, he was a bad teacher then. Because a good English teacher lets their students enjoy whatever fucking books they want, even if they're not their cup of tea. Because as long as you're getting something out of it, that's what matters. And as long as you can critically analyse the things you need to critically analyse for your education, and do so in a meaningful way, that's all that really matters in the schooling perspective. But yeah, if you're reading a book for the sake of reading a book, you don't have to pick themes out of it. You can just enjoy the book. And it doesn't make you any less literate than anybody else. You've read the fucking book. You're more literate than some people, you know? Books are for joy. They are not for suffering. Yeah, I remember, like, my English teacher when I was at secondary school, I was a weird kid. I was already at that point fascinated by criminology and really interested in writings about serial killers and crime in general. And I did an essay on Jack the Ripper and the Ripper murders and the way they were covered in the media. And he was like, okay, that's a really weird topic. Nobody's ever thought about doing something like that in my class before. And we can't have you getting that information on the public school computer labs. So do you want to use my computer in the office? Because we've got less restrictions on those. And he was really good and really supportive about it. He was like, you're a weird kid, but I like your moxie. And if you ask me, that's how fucking teachers should be. Oh, I love that, Prime B. That's great. You're tired. You're sick of being someone you're not. You need to get out of here. You barely even care that you haven't found any new evidence for your handler. We did! We found the... Do we not have it? That's me failing at darts. Tony's office. Did I not pick it up? Is that the problem? Oh, there it is. Look, property deed. And I didn't have any other options, so I went for... Yeah. Huh, that's weird. My brain defaulted to airplane humor, and thank you, sir, but my name's not Moxie. Thank you. Bravo, Shay. I joined a book club when I was in sixth form, and the first book that I brought an excerpt from for everybody to read was Thief of Time by Terry Pratchett. Because there is an entire page-long footnote about perception in storytelling, using the Emperor's New Clothes as the sort of explanation of that. And yeah, nobody in the book club other than one person who is now a long-term and very good friend of mine actually got what was being said, because only one person in the group had ever heard the story of the Emperor's New Clothes. Which was a little disappointing. The English teacher that was running the book club thought it was great. She thought it was really funny. Yeah, it was weird. The difference between academic writing and writing for fun is staggering for me. Yeah, that's fair. Like, even if you're... I've got a friend who's doing a creative writing course at university, and, like, some of the things they have to fit into their writing, just, it boggles my brain. Like, is it really creative writing if you have to fulfill certain criteria for it to be considered creative writing? Although your days started a little later with Ava and Olivia, you've always liked sunrises. When you were a kid, you shared a room with your two brothers. They were older than you, and both of them liked to sleep in. Since they wouldn't let you open the curtains too early, you had developed a system. You would lift a curtain a little and prop it up using Gumby, a toy that your uncle had given to all three of you, but your oldest brother had taken. Recently picked up The Stranger by Albert Camus. Not gonna lie, mainly because it's short and I get to tell people that I've read Camus. God damn, it's depressing. Yeah, I was like that. I read a couple of... So I read The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. I read a few of Isaac Asimov's shorter stories. Bunch of Harlan Ellison stuff as well, and it's just like, wow, all of this shit is really depressing. Maybe I should find something more cheerful to read. Gumby could bend, so it was ideal for adjusting the angle at which the sunlight came through the window and illuminating a small area of floor in your room. Lying in that pool of light without making any noise, you would read or do your schoolwork. You still remember that feeling. The warmth on your arms and face. The pages of the books reflecting golden light. Everything seemed easier in that spot. One day, Gumby fell. And as it fell, it hit another toy, setting off a chain reaction that woke up your brothers. Turns out your arms don't bend like Gumby's. Fucking Gumby. Fucking brothers. You think of Lou. Tony had mentioned Stations of the Cross at Via Crucis, and you know that things are happening too fast, that you don't have much time left. You scan your surroundings. The Bahnsen Knights are asleep in their cars, and today, you couldn't give a shit whether Gumby falls or not. You could attempt to pop open the trunks to see if any of the Bahnsen Knights are hiding something that might implicate Tony. You could revisit the cemetery and try once more, even though you're well aware it's unlikely to yield results. Or you could simply return to bed. Your brothers were fond of sleeping, and things didn't turn out bad for them. Perhaps you should have taken a leaf out of their book. And then the fictional boulder would have never existed. What do we think, folks? I think I would like to save, but it's taken the option away from me. I'm leaning towards checking the map because I feel like trying to lockpick the trunks is going to get me into trouble. Going to the graveyard's not likely to yield any results. All this flammable fuel but no matches. I know, it's disgusting, isn't it? There's a really easy way to solve this problem. I don't feel like any of the options is good. Can we move the X? No, we can't. Fuck it. Let's see what happens. You enter the barn where you saw Tony wiping his blood-covered knuckles. The light from outside does not illuminate the inside of the building. You take a few steps and hear movement behind you. Too late. The blow causes a skull fracture and you die from the damage to the brain tissue. Fuck. Okay, so checking the map was not the safe option. Fuck it, shall we just see how many times we can die? Oh. Bye, Porthos. The boy has woken up and gotten off of the chair. Thank you for the treat for the bar staff, Kian. Mine is a cherry cola bottle. Thank you. Tried to open the trunk, but it's still locked. You notice movement up ahead. Boulder? Fuck you, Boulder! Okay, I'm about to get murdered again. Note to self, never check the map. Yep, that's what we should be learning from this. Monique tells them what happened while you try to stammer out some excuse. They surround you and you try to defend yourself. You feel the blade pierce your chest and you lose consciousness. You don't die without knowing who of all of them delivered the final blow. Oof. Okay, so we can just die 1,000 ways here, it seems. I don't understand the lockpicking game. Like, what am I supposed to do? How do I know? Oh! Oh! It flashes when you're in the right place. Got ya. Monique's trunk is full of books. 3 books catch your attention. Radioactive Pampers. Books 1, 2, and 3. Cooper had bought one of those to your house. Although you were all very drunk when you read it, you still remember some fragments. Could it be a coincidence? Three. My horse's neck reminded me of the toes of the girls at the fort. The rough bumps followed an irregular distribution. Horses with manes were increasingly rare among travellers. Hilaria rode behind me. We each held the reins of a spare horse. Hilaria was not smiling. Since the physical examination at the fort, he had an expression on his face that was difficult to interpret. Bold horses die suddenly. A traveller in the radioactive pampas learns to spot the small signs so as not to hurt himself the moment they keel over. Nor does the experienced traveller let go of the reins of his spare horse or delay in changing saddles. I feel like I've picked the wrong book. When we left the fort, I saddled the animal, in which I noticed the effects of the radiation most clearly, and mounted it. I wanted Hilario to see me handle the death of my horse before the same thing happened to his. By the third prolonged whinny, I knew the demonstration would not be long in coming. Stupid nose. The pattern. My father once told me a nomadic legend about a man who had managed to fly with an Andean condor. The man had dedicated almost 15 years of his life to training the animal. During these 15 years, he had followed a strict diet to lose weight, but it was not enough. So he orders his assistant to cut off both legs and cauterize them with fire. It still wasn't enough. The man then asked the assistants to cut off one of his arms and burn the tumours on his back. In the meantime, he taught the condor to dig its claws around his spine. Oh man. When he ascertained the skin flaps would not hold, he decided on clavicles. Oh god. At last he achieved his goal. Using a flare bone and reed whistle to call the bird, he could trick it into thinking he was its prey and have it take him to the skies. With his free arm, he would signal the condor where to go. I wonder what the nomad would see if instead of flying over the Andes, he flew over the radioactive pampas. Surely he would distinguish a pattern formed by the position of the different forts, the nomadic populations, the hare hunters and the travellers. But maybe the pattern meant nothing. Ah, okay, we got the right book now. The Giant Sparrowhawk. Although we rode at a good pace, it was some time before we ceased to hear the cries of the nomads. 2 or 3 times I saw the giant sparrowhawk come down at full speed, come up with a man in its talons and drop him from above to break every bone in his body against the ground. Like many major mutations, the giant sparrowhawk does not reproduce. The spectre of an offspring that will never exist is what makes it so fearsome. It was my father who taught me how to train larger mutations. It is a job of much patience. The major mutation is unpredictable and habit assimilation happens very slowly. I met the giant sparrowhawk 7 years ago when I saved him from a horde of hunchback dogs that would have eaten him alive. He had already been hurt pretty bad, so he went a long time without flying. The mark I have on my right arm is from a peck from him that almost tore it off. The giant sparrowhawk will never have chicks. Every time he drops a male from above, he feeds the ghost of his offspring. After a few years of training, I was able to get the animal to react to the light of the flare bone as if it was the begging of hungry chicks. Like everyone in nature, the giant sparrowhawk needs to believe in the meaning of its actions. You close the trunk, trying not to make any noise. You find an open box with some bullets and keep one. You'd rather take the gun Vincent used to beat the driver of the truck from which the shipment was stolen, but there's no way he wouldn't notice. You find some bottles of pills and keep one. I just got an achievement called Unboxing! From the label, they seem to have been prescribed by a doctor. Okay, so we can't... I'm going to go to the graveyard. I'm going to save here. You walk to the graves, engrossed in your own thoughts. Is this ever going to end? Okay, so we've got 2 new cards. Our Lady of Health, to whom parishioners pray for physical and mental health. The agency uses this holy card to catalogue the medical matters of suspects. Okay, so we've got something for that. Why would they have added it now? Would they have gotten permission from Justice to obtain the medical records of some of Bahnsen knights and cross-reference data? And the other new one is St. Expeditus, patron of just and urgent causes. The agency incorporated San Expedito in the investigation. It means that it suspects a connection with justice or politics. No worries at all, Soup. Take care. It's been lovely to have you. I hope you sleep well. Would Tony and the Bahnsen Knights have partners in power? Ah, I bet that was what we were supposed to find in Tony's office. Can we... Ah, there's back. Okay. Title deed to one of Tony's barns. With the exception of Tony's, you have no idea who owns the rest of the signatures. Okay. Bottle of pills. Bottle has a doctor's signature. It appears to be a prescription medication. Okay. Select a holy card. Assign evidence. Bottle of pills. Actions of Tony's acquaintances. So we could potentially assign the bullet to that one, as it's from the hijacking. Though I don't think he shot anyone during the hijacking. I think it's Mary of Undoer of Knots that I need for the documentation, but I'm just checking. Oh no, patron saint of administrative officers. Accounting documentation specifically though, so it will be Mary Undoer of Knots, I think. Yeah, documentation that seems to have been forged. We only recognise, or obtained illegally, we only recognise one of the signatures, so it could be illegal evidence. It could be falsified documents. And then... go. You don't get your hopes up. Nothing makes you think this time will be any different than the others. What is it that your handler even wants? You think that maybe you haven't looked in the right places. Maybe you could have chosen to say other things, or pursued alternative paths. What about Cupra? Could he have uncovered something? And more important, could he have stashed it away before being discovered? Given what you knew about your friend, you have no doubt, but you don't know where to look anymore. Cupra, How you missed the son of a bitch. I think that's going to be the end of the chapter now. Yeah. This seems like a good place to stop for the night then. Because we've got to the end of a chapter. I have run out of save slots, so we'll put that one there. Oh, we got some new galleries because we got ourselves killed. We got the hijack a truck one without actually hijacking the truck, which is nice. But we also got this one because we didn't hijack the truck. We got this one for opening all of the trunks. That's nice. We got this one for dying in the back of a car. We've not seen that yet, so that's interesting. We've also not seen this yet. Spoilers. Die in the emergency exit. Okay. So it looks like we've still got a fair amount of plot to happen yet. This is definitely the longest of the Pixel Pulps. Alright. Thank you very, very much, everyone, for coming along today. I hope you've had a good time. I certainly have. It's been really fun, really interesting. We've had a lot of interesting conversations, which is always good. I love having chats with you folks. It's always good fun. We do have a giveaway active on the stream today. It is for a copy of Vambrace Cold Soul. You can find information about it at that link right there. I can see one person has entered already, so if you would like to give them a run for their money, now is your last chance before I close the giveaway. Until the next time we burglarise the cars of our supposed friends, indeed. Take care, Soul. Thank you for being here. It's been lovely to have you. Yeah, I will give you a little countdown. If you do want to enter, exclamation mark ticket will get you 1 ticket to enter. You can purchase up to 10 tickets by saying exclamation mark ticket, space, and then the number of tickets you wish to purchase up to a value of 10. And I will count you down before I close the giveaway. So you have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And a little bit for the lag. The giveaway is closed and the Master Thief has struck again. 2 entrants, a total of 20 tickets purchased. So, who will it be? Will it be our resident maniacal monkey thief? Or will it be our other entrant? With a 50% chance to win, our winner is Cypher. Congratulations, you have bested Rocket in single combat and walk away with the prize. Oh shit, it's actually doing the maths right now. Holy shit, they fixed it. I'm sorry, 150%? Yeah, because Cypher is a subscriber. So subscribers have twice the chance of winning, or double or triple the chance of winning. I think it was supposed to be double and I turned it to triple and forgot to update the information. But up until recently, it just gave everyone flat odds. No, it's always been that way, Rocket. Subscribers have always had an increased chance of winning, but you have somehow managed to beat the odds every time. And that will persist when we move to the new... Yeah, it's not that anything has... Yeah, no worries. That's who we're going to see then. Yeah, it's not that anything has changed with the giveaway itself and the way that's set up by me. It's that Stream Elements have finally fucking fixed something. I've been doing these giveaways for 3 years now, and they've only just fixed it. What does that tell you? It's taken them 3 years to fix it. Crazy. I really need to get off of Stream Elements properly. Okay, so Rocket has redeemed a Guide the Raid. So we are going to be going to see Starbright Forever. What are they up to? Let's have a look. They are playing Advance Wars. Oh, lovely. Advance Wars is adorable. I suck at it. Okay. So, massive thank you everyone for coming along today. Special thank yous to a little bit of Waffle for the raid and to Shanus for the resub. Tomorrow, we are not starting at 12 PM UK time like we normally do. It is not a point and clicks and speedrun stream. We will be starting at 6 PM UK time. We will start with a little bit of a look back on 2023 for the Retro Raccoon. Then we will be doing the first annual Retro Raccoon Game Awards, which also includes community awards. Those that have been nominated for the Barfly of the Year Award, you will be getting a message from me at some point tomorrow before the stream starts to let you know that you have been nominated and to pass on any nice messages that were included with your nominations. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Anybody else that has been granted an award will not find out until the awards ceremony or afterwards if they're not there at the time. So yeah, the rest of it is a surprise. Anyway, once the awards are over, we will do an after party. We'll play some party games. There'll probably be a little bit of RuneScape later on in the evening. Just, you know, chill shit where we can have the jukebox on and just relax. Moving us into the new year. So hopefully I'll see you all for that. Now that that bit of admin is out of the way, let's raid Starbright Forever, as requested by Rocket. Okay. Thank you once again everyone for being here today. It's been lovely to have you all. It's been great to have the conversations we've had as well. You know I love a chatty stream. But yeah, I really do appreciate your presence, your support in any format, whether you lurk, whether you chat, whether you're subscribed, whether you're not, whether it's your first time here, whether it's your 1000th time here. I really do appreciate all the support you show in all the ways that you show it, bad puns and all. So thank you, each and every one of you. Now, hopefully I'll see you for the awards stream tomorrow, because I am super hyped for it, as you can probably tell. But until I do see you next, I want you folks to take care of yourselves, take care of each other, wash your fucking hands, and send 2023 off with a bang, won't you? Have a great rest of your weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.